Hey, hey, it's Sheryl Man with juicinggardener.com, and I'm back with you on a video about kale chips. We get a lot of requests about kale chips, so I thought I'd really break it down for you. Some people, myself included, have not had kale as a major part of your diet, and we really don't know how to take care of it. So I thought I'd show you. I just took all of this out of the garden today. Look at all this gorgeous kale. I have all different kinds. I have dinosaur kale and green leafy kale and dwarf kale. And we're gonna have 2 bowls this size today. So I thought I would just show you what I do, what my process is. Now, we had some caterpillars, some green cabbage worms were in here, and they ate some holes. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that my rule is if at least 3/4 of the leaf is there and the caterpillar got a quarter of it, I'll eat the leaf. You know, and you may think that's kind of gross, but it's not. When you start getting in that space of being in the zone with your critters and your insects, you don't mind at all, because that's pure nutrition. And what that means is this is organic. This is no spray, no pesticide, and that means these leaves are so delicious that the insects want them. They're so jam-packed with nutrition. So anyway, here's my bowl of kale, and let me get some water running here. Hope it's not too loud on the... That shouldn't be too loud on the video. So what I do is I just run water through the whole bowl and give them a once through, because it's different from buying them in the grocery. When you buy them in the grocery, they've already cleaned the bugs off. They've already cleaned off, you know, the bug poop and, you know, the dirt and grime. So I just give them a quick inspection for bugs, because when you're gardening, whether you're in the country or not, if you've got kale, you may have had caterpillars or the green cabbage worm. And they lay right in here, and they're really teeny and thin, green, the same color as the leaf. They're really hard to find. And when I first did it, it was my first bucket of kale. I was like horrified, because I'm a city girl and I'm not that into, you know, bugs. And I had like, I don't know, 10 little dead caterpillars in the bottom of this bowl right here. Just flushed them down. They were already dead. But that's just part of, you know, doing gardening. So I do a first rinse. This is my bug rinse, okay? And then, and every now and then, that's not going in. These, I'll compost all these. I don't throw them down the sink. So I'm just going to do a couple more, and then I'll show you the next step. So I'm inspecting for bugs and doing a good cleaning, and then I throw them over here in the colander. So those are the really clean. Those could be eaten now. But then my next step, which I'll show you back over here, is when you have kale, you don't want to have the stems in the kale chips. They're too bitter and they're too tough. So this size leaf, oh man, I bet that water, I'm going to turn the water off. This size leaf, that stem is too much to eat. So I'm just going to strip it off. And usually you don't have to even use a knife, but if it's really tough, you may have to lay it on a cutting board and score this with a knife when the leaves get really big. So let me show you another one. This one needs stripped. And I save all of my stems because they're really good to be juiced. There's tons of nutrition in here. So I'm just going to, and it's okay if it gets messed up, because you're going to crunch the kale chips like that to massage them, and you don't have to baby them to soften them up. So let me show you one more, stripping it. Whoops, see, it's kind of hard. And if it's a delicate stem, it won't even strip very well. Most of mine I don't have to strip, because I'll show you what the other kind look like. See that delicate, you know, I might take off that end right there. But these, you don't need to strip any of them. They're just perfect the way they are. And again, look at those little holes. Those are the worms, and that's a big muncher was right there. But that's all nutrition, so I'm not going to be picky. If I threw out every leaf that had a defect like that, I would have about, I don't know, 1/20th of what's in here, because there's just no such thing as perfection when you're gardening. I mean, it's the opposite. Everything is perfect when you're gardening. So then so let me go back to my steps. So I rinse it all first just to get it clean. Then I put it back in the bowl and I rinse it again, and I do my stripping of my stems. So then I've got a second washing with it. So then by the time this is all done, all these leaves, everything will be all clean, and then all the big heavy leaves like these will all be stripped and in the bowl like that. So then I'll have a whole big bowl of nice, pure, clean, gorgeously nutritious kale with no stems, because the stems are kind of bitter, not to mention you just don't want to eat them. Kale ready for the chips. Now these aren't done because this is really my first wash, but I just wanted you to have a quick video to see what the process is. So once these would be done, they'd be cleaned, stemmed, And once the stems are out, I give them a third wash, and then they're just perfect. And right now, I'm kind of busy today, so I don't have time to make the chips. So what I'm going to do is get a long piece of paper towel, or you just use a kitchen roll. What's it called? You know, kitchen towel or paper towel. Get it moist, and then put all of these in there, roll it up, put it in a Ziploc bag, and just leave it in the refrigerator. So I could leave these in the fridge for, I don't know, 24, 48 hours. But I think I'm going to come back tonight after I do some shopping and do the actual recipe tonight. So we'll just have this video be the preparation and cleaning of your kale, and then we'll have part 2 will be the actual recipe that we use. We put this divine kind of batter on it, and then we put it in the dehydrator. So that'll be on the next video, so watch for that. So anyway, give us a thumbs up if you like the video. We sure appreciate that, and share it with your friends, and make sure you go down and comment and let us know your favorite recipe, how you clean and prepare your kale, if you do it anything differently. I'd love to know, because I'm learning as I go. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can get notified whenever we make videos. And I really appreciate you being on this journey with me of growing our own food and juicing and making great recipes in the kitchen with this all organic, beautiful produce. So again, this is Sheryl Mann with juicinggardener.com. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.